What is up, YouTube? It is your boy, Desk of Pens, coming at it again. And I have a great pen for you. And it is, it is a pen that is honestly pretty iconic. A lot of people know it. A lot of EDC people like it. Dare I say that within this little playlist, I think I'll get the most people voting for this pen. You know, a lot of EDC enthusiasts are going to be like, this is the pen for like under 10 bucks. I think that it will compete with the Sarasa Grand, but I do know that there's just a certain crowd that I think is going to end up like just kind of voting this one as the best one. And this is a pen that I loved it so much that I actually just got another one. And I'll kind of go into that actually. But right now, I just want to show you, boom, the Zebra f-701. And this is just a really nice pen. It is a lowrider from the clip. As we can see, the clip, I think, is quite sturdy. It is very nice, very stainless steel. About, I think, the prices vary, but it's always under like 10 bucks. Like, I think where I'm at right now, it's like $8.79. I've seen it as low as like $7.50 in some places. I know on Amazon it's very cheap too. It's, you know, probably like $8.99 or something, right? And so just overall a really great pen. As you can see right here, we have this cool kind of, I don't know, we got this really cool sort of reflective part to the pen, which, I mean, some people do criticize it for that reason. They're like, hey, you know, this, there we go, I just fixed some of the lighting problem. They're like, hey, you know, this sucker right here is a little too bright for us, if you will. Like, it can kind of reflect off, you know, a lot of, like, construction workers. I know that they like, well, a lot of construction workers, a lot of blue-collar workers like to use this pen, and I do think that maybe this reflective part would bother them. Understandable. But still just, like, an amazing pen, overall, and still just, it's a pen that's, like, it's one of these pens that you buy and you don't worry if it gets scratched, because it's kind of meant to do that, honestly. Like, you know, pens obviously were made to be used, and there are some that I don't ever want to like carry on me, if I'm just being real. I want to journal with them, I want to, you know, do homework here with them or whatever, but I don't necessarily want to take them out there because I'm worried of losing it, I'm worried of injuring it, I'm worried of doing all kinds of stuff. And honestly, with with all of the really good like EDC pens that I've shown you guys, like, they're all really great, right? But and like, don't get me wrong, because like, if I lost, for instance, a Sarasa Grand, that'd be sad. If I dropped it, that'd be really sad, right? It's like, all of it would be too bad, right? But this one, this is the one that I'm like the least worried about kind of giving like a beating to, you know, like it takes a scrape, I drop it, something, it's like, yeah, it's like, as long as it keeps writing, it's like, it's kind of meant to, you know, get scraped up a little bit. Like, this guy is kind of born for battle. And I can really appreciate the grip. For those of you who can't handle knurling, not your guy. But for those of you who do appreciate a good knurl, you are in luck. This is a really great pen. You know, I personally really appreciate it. I think it's really good. Going to the refill. And I don't think I've actually really gotten refills ever. I've never purchased them, so I don't really know how much this costs or anything. But it looks like, sorry, it looks like we're looking at an A22 refill, which is pretty cool. I think it writes great personally. I think it's quite smooth. It's quite, you know, it's quite nice. We're going to do some tests with it, and then, you know, we will talk about how you can edit it, which for those of you who have seen my Fisher Space Pen videos, you know darn well where I'm going to go with that. So Zebra f-701, I believe this is an 0.7 ballpoint pen. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful pen. So right off the bat, just, you know, really, really crisp ink. Not necessarily a Pilot Acroball crisp, but still pretty good. Here's our little skip test. It doesn't look like it's skipping too bad, you know. And this is right out of the factory as well. Yeah, it's really, really good, you know. Boom and boom. Let's try a little smear test. Let's do it again. Very quick dry time. Very quick dry time. I don't see any smears. You know, so the performance of it is doing really well. Now we're going to do a highlighter test. We also need to do a spring test. Don't let me forget that. Highlighter test is looking good. Small streak, but, you know, that is right off the cusp. If you were to go back later, I'm sure it'd be dry enough. Here's a little spring test. It jumps. It doesn't jump like our wonderful Parker right here. That sucker, I always gotta be so careful. Okay, yeah. Overall, though, I just think this is a really nice EDC pen. You know, it's just, you know, oh, and it's made in Indonesia. Fun fact, for those of you who are Indonesian, you could take a lot of pride in this thing. I think it's super nice. And then boom, I have another variant, and this one, as you know, has a Fisher Space Pen refill in it. I'll get to that in a minute, but first I just kind of want to talk about, like, you know, kind of the essence of this pen. I really appreciate that this pen, you know, it's kind of something that you can just take out there, and, you know, it has a classy look to it. It has a very classy and yet very rugged look to it. It doesn't, I mean, it doesn't seem braggadocious, right? But it does kind of say that, you know, you have a respect in whatever you're working on, you know, and you show that by, you know, kind of bringing a fairly nice pen and stuff, right? Now, with that said, again, what? I apologize. My watch's alarm went off, and it looks like I did not set that for the correct time. Anyway, back to it. Where was I? Oh, yeah. It's just like a very nice, a very humble pen. You know, it's very classy. You know, it's not too boastful. You know, I've always kind of worried about that, honestly, about, you know, bringing out like a nice pen, and I don't know, just kind of looking a little too boastful and stuff. It's kind of why I prefer a lot of my pens in darker colors, believe it or not. But anyway, yeah, but it's just it's overall just a really nice pen. It's really chill. It's really smooth. It's very humble. It's something that you could buy, keep, and, you know, pass on, like a lot of metal pens and stuff, right? Oh, and I should probably show you this cap. Like this right here, it's metal. Yeah, so it's not gonna break or anything. It's like very, very strong, very sturdy. Some people say that this is a tactical pen. I saw this one survival dude do a review on it. I do have a few tactical pens, by the way, in case you guys want to review. Do let me know. Anyway, but this guy kind of torture tested it, and it did end up kind of breaking and stuff. And I think he did the Gerber impromptu for his tactical pen that he wanted to, you know, test it with. And so, I mean, will it break a car window? Will it defend you in a fight? Sure. Should you throw it up in the air? Should you beat it to death every single day? No, it can definitely withstand a drop. I'm not saying it can't. But, you know, like, you don't want to intentionally torture test this thing and try to destroy it. I don't know. I just feel like it's kind of bad taste. But anyway, so now, why do I have the variant out? So this was my first one, and it's a really great pen, and it has a Fisher. I hope this refill is not dead. A Fisher Space Pen. No, it's totally good. Refill. And that is the beautiful thing, is that this pen can also accommodate, and it doesn't even need the converter cap, but boom, look at that. As an old refill, cool. It can accommodate a Fisher Space Pen refill in it, which I think is pretty fancy schmancy, you know. Now, here's the thing. On YouTube, you see a lot of guys talking about there being kind of like a little white piece, like within the cap here, basically, and that it is kind of tough on the Fisher Space Pen refill, because when it's pushed out like this, it's kind of compressing that ink, and it's making the ink flow a lot more difficult, which is understandable. And so what they recommend is take a pen, you know, poke it out, and then throw in the Fisher Space Pen refill. What I didn't realize is that when you do that, you can no longer access the very nice zebra style refill. It just it won't rest, it won't sit in there, because let's face it, this is a lot thinner of a refill, and so that's why that white piece is in there, right? And so for a little while I was okay with it, but then I was like, man, like I actually remember really enjoying this thing, and I didn't give it like enough time, and that's actually really sad for me. And so I ended up going out and grabbing it and sorry. I ended up going out and grabbing another one. And so now what and so yeah. The thing is, though, the reason why I'm throwing the Fisher Space Pen refill in here is that I want you guys to see, like, this, it's a little tighter now, you know, and it still has the white cap in it. And then Fisher, I mean, I still feel like it's pretty smooth, but, like, you definitely know that there is, like, a certain tightness to it. But, you know, whether or not that's a good or a bad thing is actually your decision. I personally actually don't mind it that much. I actually think it still feels totally fine. But, like, you do know that, like, this refill is a lot more loose in one where you have kind of jabbed out that white piece. And so, you know, that's just kind of, that is something that you got to ask yourself. Like, do you want to have, you know, like these two refills, right? Or are you cool making peace with this zebra refill so that you may have a Fisher Space Pen refill that kind of like goes and, you know, flows very well, and, you know, you pay what's like $14 for like to basically have a pressurized pen, whereas usually, at least with Fisher Space Pens, it can be way more. Like the average space pen is probably like the average full metal space pen. I should definitely qualify that. The average full metal space pen is well north of like $20 and stuff. And so it's kind of something that you gotta ask yourself. With that said, there is a little bit of rattling. Wait, hang on. Maybe there's not. Hang on. There it is. There it is, yeah. There's a little bit of rattling. If you can live with it, which, I mean, I don't know. That's kind of up to you. But if you can live with it, then it's honestly not that big of a deal. And yeah, okay, right here, you can definitely tell that there's a lot smoother of a flow. Man, I forget how nice this thing is. I'm totally taking this to school tomorrow. Anyway, yeah, great pen though, right? And so, yeah. And so, yeah, overall, just a really great pen, a really nice one. Great EDC. And I think that's honestly the end of the review here. But guys, let me know what you think about it, you know, because look, like, not everybody is going to agree with me on this. You know, some people are going to say it's not a great pen. Some people are going to say that the Zebra ink isn't the best in the world. Others are going to think it's totally fine. But I would love to hear your opinions down below. And, you know, as usual, if there's a pen you want me to grab and review, let me know. I am kind of like finally getting through like my 3 big series and stuff. And so I'm definitely going to start looking at like things that people have commented, and I will go out, I will grab them, and we will review them and have a ton of fun. And that I am very excited for. So do keep that in mind, my good friends. Yeah, and so it's gonna be really fun. And I'm also at 27 subscribers now, and I'm gonna be honest, I just don't know how that happened, but that's super cool, man, you know. And so to all of you, like, thank you for it. It's like, it's so cool just to see it growing and stuff, you know. I'm like, wow. And it means a lot, you know. I absolutely love your comments. You guys are super encouraging and stuff. You guys give great feedback too, so thank you for that. And yeah, and I hope that you all have a great rest of your day. This video is kind of dragging on. I apologize. If you guys have any questions, by the way, about any of the pens, any particular aspects or stuff, I'm happy to like make shorts, maybe make another video just to kind of talk about that one aspect. Do let me know, you know, and I would love to go over it with you guys. But anyway, I hope that you all have a wonderful rest of your day. It's been awesome, and this is Desk of Pens signing off. Bye.